Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. We're so glad that you've joined us today. I'm Mike Jensen, your guest host for today's show. Owatonna Today Show can be seen multiple times Monday through Saturday on Charter Channel 181, and the show can be found on the internet on your YouTube channel, Owatonna Today Show, Facebook, and the thirdhandvideo.com. Like us on Facebook and you'll receive a direct link to each of the news shows on your Facebook page. And you can follow us on Twitter at Owatonna Today. Owatonna Today always welcomes your comments about the show and your ideas for show topics and guests. You can contact Owatonna Today via email, owatonnatoday@charter.net, or by calling the show's producer, Leanne Alt, and her phone number is 390-5751. We have a great show lined up for you today. Our guests in studio are Habitat for Humanity, as well as we have the Crisis Resource Center coming. And right now we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with our first guest, so please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet.
And I'm Dr. Nick Vincelli of Horizon Eye Care.
We want you to see what you love and love how you see. We're proud sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Well, I think we're in for a real treat today. We have some folks with us from Habitat for Humanity of Steele and Waseca County. Did I get that right?
Steele Waseca area, but
area.
Close.
Oh, close. I was trying. It's a long title, you know. It's
Yes,
good to
it
have
is.
goals. Good to have goals. Maybe what we'll do is just so that our viewers can, who's here. Maybe if we go down and tell, your name and a little bit about your connection to Habitat or what your role is. We'll start maybe at the end of the table.
All right. Hi, my name is Tuma. I'm the president of the affiliate, and I've been involved in Habitat going on my 4th year now. And it's been a fun experience, and it's been neat to see the progress of our affiliate and the fact that we're in a rebirth kind of stage again and trying to become more relevant in our communities that we're serving. So
wonderful.
I'm Carlyle Welch, and I'm a member of the board here at the affiliate. And it's been a great learning experience for me. I've been with the organization, what it's been, Tom, about 2
years?
About 2 years. And a lot of misconceptions that I had before have been a learning experience for me. And we hope the show today will be a learning experience for our viewers.
Sounds good.
And I'm Pat Heydon. I'm the executive director with our affiliate. I have been associated with them for just over a year and a half.
Okay. Well, definitely sounds like you all have history. Maybe, Pat, if you could talk just a little bit about the history of Habitat in this community or this area. I mean, how many homes have you worked on or projects have you been a part of, or how long has Habitat been around for?
Sure. Habitat, our affiliate started in 1993 as Steele County. So Steele County formed our affiliate. We built our first home, finished the first home in 1995. That homeowner just paid off her mortgage last month. So very exciting,
That's
20
a great
years.
Mine off yet.
A great milestone.
Yes, it's a fantastic milestone for us. We have built 22 homes. Four of those have been in Waseca County. Waseca County joined us in 2008. So much for the same reason that Steele County formed an affiliate, Waseca County saw that same need of getting safe, decent, and affordable homes for members in their community. With the Waseca County addition in 2008, as I said, we built 4 homes there. 2 of those were rehabs. So we had 2 homes that were donated to our affiliate that our affiliate went in and refurbished and rehabbed and sold to 2 great partner families.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Now, Carlyle, you had said that coming into this you had some misconceptions or that sort of thing. Maybe talk about what some of those might be for folks.
Well, it is interesting. I discovered that some other people have had similar misconceptions about Habitat, and I really knew virtually nothing about it. I knew that Habitat was in the business of helping people become homeowners, but I had a lot of misunderstandings also about it. I practically thought that past President Carter was the originator of Habitat. That's not really true, although he's been a strong supporter of the Habitat International organization. But other things are just I was completely ignorant about. You know, how do these people get these houses anyway? And what kind of a criteria is set up for that? And some of these I didn't even think much about. And my interest in the past has not really been on the level of being on the board or the organizational administrative part, but more just because I have an interest in participating at the build. And I had called to ask if they were building a house because we had been out of the country for a while. And so one of our good past folks who's been with the organization for a long time said, well, would you consider being on the board? And I said, well, I don't know. I can't imagine why a retired physician really has any place on the board. Well, anyway, that was my lead into it, and that's how I happened to come into it. But what we really want to kind of clear up with some folks is the process that people can expect. For example, I asked Pat just yesterday at one of our meetings if a person who has a small farm and owns property but has a very minimal income, does that mean that they could apply for a house? Well, the answer is a little bit complex, but chances are they wouldn't qualify. But that's some of the things that we want to go over today.
Okay. Well, now I think you're in the process of starting the journey with a new home, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that home is going to be located where?
In the city of Waseca.
Okay, and so now, how does that process start? I don't know if one of you maybe want to talk about that or where we're at in that journey right now.
Well, we just started our application process. We just started at the end of February, actually. We're using a two-step process this year. As Carlyle mentioned, it's quite a stringent evaluation process. So rather than having all of our applicants submit all of the financial documents and paperwork that they need to provide, we're taking it into two steps. So the first step will really be a more broader overview. Do they qualify financially? We work with people who are lower income. What is their need for a home? So we're looking at where you're currently living. Is your home substandard? Does it cost too much? Are you paying too much of your income towards your rent? What does that need? And then do you have the ability to pay a home mortgage? Because we do enter into a long-term mortgage. So we're going to take that into two steps. So the first step will be kind of that big picture overview. And then if you qualify, they'll be invited to the full application process, at which point then we get much more detailed on your finances. What is your debt? Can you afford to take on a long-term mortgage based on your income and your other debt liabilities? Okay, so that first round is somewhat of a pre-screening process. Correct. For both of them and you. I mean, they may realize themselves that I'm not in for all of that, or they know that they're going to be moving or transitioning out of the community and they're here for a period of time. What are your typical, you talk about a mortgage, what's a typical mortgage situation with Habitat? I mean, is it a 20-year, 30-year? I mean, how does that work? When we started back in 1995, we wrote a 20-year mortgage. Our last probably 5-6 have been 30 years, I would say. For the most part, I mean, our last mortgage was definitely a 30-year mortgage. We're working to make them affordable. We don't write a mortgage beyond 30 years. That gets to be a little long. But we work with that. Our average mortgage, which is a mortgage and escrow, so we also do that escrow for the property taxes and homeowners insurance. Our average mortgage has been under $500 a month for all of our homeowners. Wow. Definitely a savings to a family that's maybe struggling or needs that little leg up or that help up. Yep. Now, do you get referrals from other associations or organizations in the community, like transition housing, some of those kinds of places? Well, this is our first time through it, so I'm going to say yes. We sent out flyers to all of the social service agencies in the 2 counties. We have sent them out to all of our churches. covered really everybody that we could think that has been involved or through our database list has been involved in helping us in Habitat in the past.
Okay. Now, Tom, you've been with us probably the longest, I think, of the folks here. Has there been a really unique or an aha moment in one of the builds or in the process or the journey for you personally that maybe touched you or had impact?
Yeah, for me, I think actually the home dedication that we just did in January was very exciting. It was neat to see the process go from deciding to build, what type of design we were going to go through. So it was mission at work really for Habitat. And we had a couple years where we didn't do a build. We had finished up a home in New Richland that was existing. So this was the first home build from, digging the foundation and, digging the hole, getting the foundation in, and actually just recreating some of the infrastructure behind Habitat, which is, Carlyle sits on our family selection committee. We have a building committee, and so it was fun just to see those kind of things start to blossom back and come back to bring our affiliate into a better place in terms of where we are and living our mission. So
okay, that's pretty exciting. Now, this build will start in May, did I hear?
That's our hope.
Okay, and maybe talk a little bit about that. Will you need folks to come on board to help if people in the community are listening, hearing? I think you, Carlyle, said you wanted to be a part of the build initially. That's where you found your energy. If someone is out there and looking at getting involved, what can they do? What can they expect?
Well, I think that in many ways there's multiple levels of involvement. In other words, we are commonly looking for replacement of retiring administrative people, that is on the board or leading out in a committee, but we're also looking for volunteers on several levels, and so they can contact the offices and that can they can be informed about that.
Okay.
We do have a page on our website as well that talks a little bit about the volunteer opportunities from building to providing meals or refreshments to helping us with fundraising to a whole host of things. I don't remember everything on our webpage, but.
Okay, exciting. So I'm assuming it takes a lot of people to put a house together, to build a house.
We had over 100 volunteers donate over 1,600 hours on our last house.
Oh my goodness. And the family is a part of that whole journey as well, aren't they?
Correct.
Yes, they're right there with you. Now, I think you have an event coming up at the History Center in May as well. Maybe briefly tell us a little bit about that. I know we're getting short on time, but...
Our fundraiser, Building Hope for Homes, is May 15th at the Steele County History Center. It'll be from 7 to 9 p.m. Great time to come and meet some of our homeowners, hear their stories, talk to our volunteers that have been with us and have worked with us on our houses, and really just kind of a great time to get the community involved and excited for our next build.
Well, I thank you all so much for being out here. I learned a lot about Habitat today, and hopefully our viewers did as well. We're going to take a quick break for some of our sponsors to get their message out, and then we'll be right back with the Crisis Resource Center.
This March, as part of Minnesota Food Share Month, the Steele County Food Shelf hopes to raise $100,000 in cash or pounds of food. Minnesota Food Share contributes additional money based on our local donations. In 2014, 3,616 individuals living in Steele County registered at the food shelf. By the end of 2014, the food shelf gave out 551,000 pounds of food. The Steele County Food Shelf looks forward to your generosity again this year. With your support, we are able to provide a resource in Steele County for our neighbors in need. No one in Steele County should have to go to bed hungry.
Don't let the cold winter weather stop you from exercising. Keep up your fitness program at the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center. We offer a variety of different membership packages available on daily, monthly, and yearly basis. We also have a variety of programs and services to help the newest of members get started and to help those who have been around for a while improve on what they are doing. The Tennis and Fitness Center participates in insurance reimbursement programs with a variety of different insurance providers that could make you eligible for up to $20 credit each month. For more information about the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center, call us at 444-4290.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty. And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna. And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back, and now I'm joined with some folks with the Crisis Resource Center, and I think to maybe help us out or help the viewers out a little bit, I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves and tell kind of what their role is with the Crisis Resource Center or how they connect with this group of organizations. So we'll start over here.
My name's Lyndsey, and I am the Sexual Assault Program Coordinator at the Crisis Resource Center. And so really what my role is to support victims of sexual violence and sexual assault. So some of the services that I would provide is helping the victim at the ER and supporting them during, if they decide to do a sexual assault exam kit, and then also going to law enforcement with them and supporting them if they do decide to report to law enforcement. Okay. And then court advocacy as well, I do some of that and help them during the court process and to understand that.
Okay.
So.
And I'm Stephanie McCarren, and I'm the Abused Children's Coordinator at the Crisis Center. And some of my jobs there are, I go to the schools in Steele County, at all the schools in Owatonna. I go to Medford, Blooming Prairie, and NRHEG, and I teach a violence prevention program for the kids, and it's really a lot of fun for me. I see a lot of stuff when I go into the schools, and it's a lot of fun. And I have a children's group that I run at the Crisis Center where kids can come and have a safe place to talk about things if things aren't so good at home or if they're having problems with bullying. But it's a nice support group that we have, and I also go to court with people and respond to domestic violence.
I think there's a lot of things that happen in the community that we don't necessarily realize.
Yeah.
I was, I think back to, I was at the Steele County Clothesline a number of years ago and was in the back room, helping and volunteering, and I think it was doing a donation or something. And there was a young mother there with a child, and she was fleeing a domestic situation and had to leave with nothing.
Yes.
She had nothing but her car. That's all she had. And so I know the folks at the Clothesline were equipping her with pots and pans and blankets and just some basic household necessities. And they had some toys for the children, and that really hit me hard, and it's something that I think has stayed with me. So many times we don't see that in the community. Owatonna does a great job through organizations like yours of supporting these folks or that are encountering these situations, but the public at large doesn't see that. Right. So maybe if we can talk a little bit about that today. You talked earlier about sexual assault and how that looks within Steele County. I mean, do you have any idea like the numbers of situations that are like that, or how many clients are you working with in a year's time or a period of time?
Yeah, last year we provided 457 services to 66 clients.
400 plus services to 66. Wow.
Yeah, so 66 sexual assaults last year, and so we provided 457 to those 66 clients.
Okay.
So.
And I'm assuming now you provide support to the individual that's been assaulted,
right?
And then do you back up support them with the family and the children? Does it work together, or how does that work?
Yeah, oftentimes we are, collaborating together with our different programs and helping that family, especially if there's children involved, and that sexual assault victim have those children as well, and they've been maybe a victim or they've witnessed some abuse. So we're often, collaborating together with our different programs to help that family. So,
if you're John Q. citizen out there, and you're suspecting that someone is going through this kind of a situation or experiencing this, what sorts of steps should that person take? How should they engage? How should they get involved? Any recommendations that way?
If you suspect that somebody is going through something like this, I would reach out. I would be a friend. I would offer some sort of support. They need to know that they have some place to go and that somebody will help them. A lot of times when they're in a situation like that, they have no hope. and they don't think that anybody can help them. We had a neat family a couple weeks ago, and the dad just teared up and said, "You're the first place that we've come where we felt hope, that things can change, and we have so many resources at the center there that we can offer people, and we can guide them, and we can get them through what they need to get through, and it's so rewarding to give people hope and to help them."
Wow, what a powerful experience. I'm sure each day is a new adventure, a new, new experience.
You never know what's going to walk in the door. Sometimes it's very tragic, and sometimes it's very happy too.
Now, you said you go to the schools and visit with the students and that sort of thing. Maybe talk a little bit about what that programming's like. What happens when you're with the students or in the schools?
It's the best in the world, because I'm teaching them how to believe in themselves and to be kind to one another. So it's called a violence prevention program, and it's a tier-based program. So we go from kindergarten through 5th grade, and every year we teach them something new to build up self-confidence and to teach them to be kind to one another and what they need to do to keep themselves safe. We need to teach everybody how to keep themselves safe, because there's a lot of people that don't know how, and that's a lot of times how tragic things happen in those situations. But it's the best, and I'll have kids that will come up to me afterwards and they'll say things, and it'll just kind of break your heart, but at least they've heard these things and they know where to go to help. We teach them where to go.
Where to go and how to
get help. Yep.
Now, where are you located, or how do people, reach out to you?
We're located on 125 West Front Street, so we're kind of in a warehouse building area. We share a building with a furniture company.
Okay.
I believe we're right across from a canning company.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't recall the name, but yeah, so.
It's kind of tucked back in, so it's kind of private. So if people are uncomfortable going there, it's kind of private, so they can go and not feel like everybody's looking at them.
Okay. Is there a phone number that they can call, or a way that they can reach out to you?
Our phone number is 507-451-1202. And that's a 24-hour crisis line. So staff hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then after that, we have a volunteer advocate oftentimes. And if there's not an advocate available, that would be us.
Okay.
Answering the phone.
Now, I think you have a couple of events coming up. I'm sure that it costs dollars to run your program, and you need to find ways to support that. Maybe talk a little bit about, I think you have a banquet, is it, coming up?
Yep. We have our Abused Children's Banquet up at the Country Club this year. It's our big fundraiser. We have a speaker, and you can buy tickets for $25 at the Crisis Resource Center, and you can come and hear the speaker. We also have a raffle that's going on up there. We try to raise money with the raffle too, so you can buy raffle tickets as well.
Now, off the air, before we started, you were telling me a little bit about some of your past speakers, and that really moved me. Maybe share a little bit about those speakers and some of their topics. I don't think people understand the quality, or the experience that they're going to go through at this banquet. It's not a traditional banquet in that sense.
No. One of our speakers 2 years ago was abused by her husband. He knocked her over the head and put her in a dumpster and took her to their storage unit, and she shared her story with us, and it is very moving, and it's something that you just can't quite believe that people can go through. And thank goodness she had her cell phone on her, so they could find her by tracking her cell phone. Last year we had Dr. Michael O'Brien, and he found the adolescent sex offender program in the state of Minnesota. So he's reaching out on the other side. He was treating the sex offenders that did the damage to the families. So.
Wow, some powerful experiences. Now, do you know who your speaker will be for this year's event?
Yep, it's Shelley Arneson from Rochester. She's a professor at the college down in Rochester, and she's going to share her abuse story with us.
I bet there's not a dry eye in the house by the time the evening's over.
It's pretty quiet. You could drop a pin.
Pretty emotional, moving.
Yeah.
But I think it's stories that we definitely want to make sure people hear about and learn about. Now, with the women that you're working with, How do you get those referrals? Are they calling you? Do you get referrals from the police department? Does the police department reach out to you, or social services, or how does that happen?
It's kind of all of those things. Oftentimes we'll have the hospital calling saying they have a sexual assault victim or even a domestic violence victim at the ER and asking that an advocate come and support that victim. We also have human services referring clients over to us too that may be a victim of abuse or sexual assault as well. Law enforcement will call us to support victims at the law enforcement center as well. So it's all those things. We get many different referrals from the community, which is really, really great, because then we know that the community is just supporting us and we're getting good feedback that way. So
we're very fortunate to have you in this community and serving that role and serving these folks that are encountering these very difficult situations, very difficult times. Hopefully we've covered everything today.
So.
This day's gone so fast. These,
Yeah.
it's only a few minutes that we get, so we certainly appreciate you being with us. We're going to take a quick break to hear from some of our sponsors, but we'll be back with some community announcements, so please stay with us.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to Transitional Housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Every child needs a mentor, a positive role model. For me, that was my grandmother. For more than 110 years, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been making meaningful monitor matches between adult volunteers and children. And these positive relationships have direct and measurable impacts. Help a child realize his or her potential. Visit bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
Well, we had a great time hearing from our organizations today, and we've learned a lot of information, but there's lots of things still happening in the community that we want to make sure that you know about as well. In celebration of National Youth Art Month, the Owatonna Arts Center will host an exhibition of K-12 students' work from Owatonna Public Schools. The dates of the exhibit are March 1st through the 29th. March 14th, you have a chance to support the Steele County Free Fair and enjoy a delicious barbecue rib dinner at the Hy-Vee in Owatonna. Roundup Supper, I think is what they're calling it, from 5 to 8 in Hy-Vee casual dining area. Tickets are available on site. We also have the 3rd annual Mike Hansen Memorial Washerboard Tournament. Will happen at the Elks Club on Saturday, March 14th. Proceeds from the tournament will go to support the Owatonna Park and Recreation Scholarship Program in Mike Hansen's name. March, we do have a number of blood drives that are happening as well. Those are all at St. John Lutheran Church, both Wednesday and Thursday, March 18th and 19th from noon to 6, and Friday, March 20th from 8 until 1. Another fun program happening on March 18th. It's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. We have the United States Army Field Band and Soldiers Chorus. They will be with us, and they're at 7 o'clock. Anybody that knows Andrea Van Gelder or Tim Van Gelder, Andrea's sister, is a part of that Soldiers Chorus, so that will be a lot of fun. We also have Breast Cancer Superhero Portrait Project will be happening, and that's on Friday, March 20th. There are so many good things happening. Our next program will feature Lois Nelson, Pioneer Woman, as well as the Humane Society, and Deb Gillard will be back as a host for that time. Thank you for joining us today.